2012 from the solar hippie gypsy witch scientist's perspective of the psychedelic eye. You'll know this is true in your heart. What is the symbolic significance of the Mayan calendar ending on Winter Solstice 2012? Think. The answer is clear. It is a calendar that ends. It is about bringing attention to calendars. It is on the winter solstice. It's about reconnecting with the sun cycle. It is the golden opportunity to mobilize mass consciousness and make 2012 a new beginning, rebirth, a new vision. It is about the completion of the 26,000-year revolution through the constellations of the Earth's pole, known as the precession of the equinoxes. The Earth's pole will align with the galactic center, just like 12 o'clock midnight on a daily cycle. It is the end of the Piscean age, and it is the beginning of the new age of Aquarius. On the winter solstice 2012, people will realize that the true beginning of a new year is the solstice, not January 1st, because the winter solstice is the return to the light of the sun in the northern hemisphere. And that is also equivalent to midnight on a daily cycle. On winter solstice 2012, people will realize that the winter solstice is a natural holiday for all people, and that this knowledge has been suppressed throughout time. On 2012, mankind will reawaken to the reverence of the importance of the power of the sun. On 2012, people will realize that sunspots and solar flares directly create the conditions of our lives. On 2012, people will realize that the sun can be a great unifier of all humanity, because in all times, all people, regardless of race or place of birth, have depended on the sun and earth. On 2012, people will realize that the oil companies and profiteers have suppressed solar consciousness by buying up patents and supporting candidates who take panels off of the U.S. White House in the 80s. On 2012, people will realize that all of humanity should have been designing their houses based on orientation to the sun and utilizing passive solar designs. On 2012, people will realize that profiteers have kept us dependent on oil and ways of living that make them rich, pollute the environment, and keep the masses as wage slaves working for our heating and cooling rather than getting it from clean, reliable sources and passive solar designs. On 2012, people will see the sun as a living, symbolic manifestation of the ultimate infinite mystery and realize that fighting over words of different prophet men is destructive to themselves, their family, and their environment. On 2012, people will see that those at the tops of the religious power pyramids profit from and stay in power through promoted continued separateness. People will realize that the true celestial holy days are the solstices and equinoxes, not man-made Christian, Jewish, Muslim, or any other religious holidays. In 2012, people will remember that the indigenous organic cultures of Americas and Europe were aligned with the sun, and that they were suppressed and murdered. On 2012, people will realize that our current calendar was developed in a time when you could be put to death or under house arrest for saying that the earth went around the sun. On 2012, people will realize that the current calendar is a control tool of government and religion, when it should be a sacred tool for harmonizing with the earth and sun and universe. On 2012, people will realize that our Western Gregorian calendar of Caesar is a contrivance that is out of harmony with the natural cycle and does not have any fixed rhythm, keeps us confused. On 2012, people will realize that the calendar is one technology that is being suppressed from evolving. On 2012, people will become aware of the beginning of the spiritual age of Aquarius, and they will become aware of the Aquarian calendar that aligns with the sun and the earth. Use your force. Believe in the age of Aquarius instead of the doomsday and Armageddon of the fear purveyors, because thoughts create reality. We can have a world where people grow edible plants and fruit trees in their yards and don't spray chemicals all over their yards, and they share their food and trade with their neighbors. We can have a world where a large percentage of our heating needs comes from clean renewable sources, where our taxes are spent making the world beautiful and clean instead of constant destruction and war. Yes, you can vote right now with your choice. We don't need an election for millionaire candidates bought by corporations to create our reality. We have the power to create reality simply by our beliefs and our daily choices. Choose. You can subscribe, forward, or embed this HTML. Or you can sit in fear of the future, criticize, and be an apathetic sheep, and let doomsday come to pass because of religious fanatics and self-interest and greed. Now, if you think you're going to be safe because you're buying a lot of ammunition and building a